I sent a discreet report to the Spindle. She extends her gratitude.
Did she know anything more about the Flying Archon?
No. There's no record of this being an official Enclave design.
Meaning?
Someone built it after the surge. Presumably without the Enclave leadership knowing.
That's unbelievable. Who could have built it?
We don't have any leads at the moment. Regardless of its origins, we solved the Spindle's mystery.
It's what we do.
I think we can call that as close as we're going to get. I agree. Good news, Arik. It's likely your caravan didn't leave.
You're sure?
Reasonably. We know which caravan was carrying a sealed case of two scries from the Keep records.
There's no log of it departing, and the logs were quite consistent after the surge.
And the Axel had several older drovers who told stories of caravans that lost control of their beasts in the panic. More than a few, sadly, pitched their entire caravan into the newly formed fissure in the lower city.
The runners would have recovered anything that important years ago were it still by the gate.
Suggesting the scries might have gone over the edge. Bryn, I hate to ask, but
I can take a look. Absolutely.
just be careful. The tangles get thick down there.
Ever since we learned of the verdant mines, I haven't been able to stop thinking about them. They were clearly well-resourced in regards to both labor power and knowledge. And they had an extremely intimate knowledge of the Enclave's technology. But do you know who was around to see their rise and fall, but hasn't spoken a word about it?
Cassidon's Hold's biggest ass?
The very same. I just think it's interesting how he's kept quiet about it. Don't you?
I don't expect much from him.
I don't know if he was involved with the events surrounding the Verdant Mine's attempt to take down the Veil, but he certainly bore witness.
So what are you thinking?
I'd like to send you out on a fact-finding mission for now. Meanwhile, I'll pore over my existing research for clues.
Gotcha. I'll be back when I found everything you're after.
Thanks, Bryn. I'll get to work here, too.
Take them out from it. distance, and they'll never know you were there. Nice to work on something a little lighter every once in a while. Good balance of protection and mobility.
This looks right. I guess I'll find out when I take it to the harness. Whoa. Those surge-worn parts really didn't do much for the smell of this thing. Well, that did something. I should go check with the axle that it worked. I hope I'm not interrupting anything with her and the spindle.
Should be close to where the scry-carrying caravan might have gone over the edge.
I'll have a look. Good news, Eric.
I can see. That's quite possibly our lost scries.
Will you be able to retrieve it?
Now that we've identified it, yes.
Here's something. Let's see. It seems to be information on Mrs. Family's contracts. There are a lot of redactions here. Seems like someone's trying to hide something.
My mentor used to regale me with stories about the ironwork after a long day at the smithy.
Artisans, metal workers, and crafters also had stands here, though the smiths were by far the draw for travellers.
I'll need to get these back to Lane. See what we've got here. These all seem to be speeches that the eye delivered. These are dated 40 years ago, but I could still imagine him saying all of these things today.
I can't believe we actually did it. It's been a pleasure working with your band. If we could match the drive and efficiency you all show, this place would be fixed in months.
You've been a support since we met, Arakim. I'm happy to work with you, especially if it helps us recover lost treasures.
We make a good team, Bryn. I'll get the runners on hauling that crate up and let you know when I know more.
It's a report blaming the Verdant Mines for an explosion near the Vale. Supposedly, this explosion was the cause of the cyclical miasma floods. But we know that the floods were caused by a silent. This doesn't add up. So what did we find out? Any big revelations? What's wrong?
This isn't what I expected at all. I think you need to read this yourself.
Well, sure, but... all right. This is one of Lucia's journals, right?
Yes.
I washed my hands of it, but they pressed onwards. He was fully aware of what I taught them, of course. What I'd taken from the Institute. And so, he let it happen. He knew they were going to try to pierce the veil, and now dozens are dead. He knew Vile. Broke bread with them. But when they and the rest of the Verdant Mines went off to die, Kenrick just watched.
And now read this. A transcript of one of his speeches, delivered around the same time that journal entry was written.
We will root out these dissenter vermin at all levels of administration. Their ideology has claimed too many lives to be allowed to breathe free. In the meantime, to ensure peace and prosperity, martial law is in effect across remaining settlements. So he let the explosion happen and used it for his own political gain. Wow. He's a real piece of work.
He didn't exactly engineer this, but he isn't innocent either. He sat back and allowed the Verdant Mines to try breaking through the veil. Then they unintentionally triggered a huge explosion, conveniently wiping themselves out in the process. And just like that, the Eye had a scapegoat on whom to blame the cyclical miasma floods. He used panic and fear to secure himself a spot as provisional leader. But everyone eventually forgot that provisional bit. I genuinely didn't expect this at all. I thought I'd find out that he'd just been mildly conniving all his life, not this.
So, what do we do about this then?
We need to confront him. He may be the Enclave's leader, but we can still take him to task on what he's covered up.
Wait, what? You really think that'll work?
Yes. I'll present him with our evidence, and he'll have to give us an explanation.
I'm open to the idea. But what makes you think he'll want to speak to us?
I'm confident in my powers of persuasion. I may be young, but a lifetime spent orbiting the seats of power in Judea, well, let's just say that I know how to appeal to a politician's better judgment.
Well, I trust your judgment.
Excellent. I'll finish writing this dossier and I'll meet you in Cassidon's Hold. Have faith.
It's not you who I'm lacking faith in. Trust me. Anyway, I'll see you at the Hold.
I won't be long.
So the curves of the metal suggest...
I definitely think an enchanter had a hand in this, as well as someone with intimate knowledge of the loom gates.
Those two people could possibly be one person even. Though I can't fathom who it would be.
Keeping yourselves busy, I see?
It's a conundrum for the ages, that's for sure.
Ah, Bryn. You're back.
You've done amazing work with the resonance modulator. I'm certain this will be a turning point for us.
Thanks. But how do you know it worked?
The loom gate started glowing a strange color before you arrived. I took it as a hint that you'd succeeded.
Spoiled the surprise.
I'm sure the Surgeborn will be plenty surprised when they next try to use the loom gates.
Suffice to say, we're thrilled, Bryn. In a short time, you've done a lot to help us. We were, obviously, a little hesitant to trust newcomers.
Our first impression wasn't the best.
But now, we're in a much better situation when it comes to survival.
Happy to have helped. Without you two trusting me, I couldn't have achieved half as much. So thank you for letting me in. I'm glad to have gotten to know both of you.
It's been my pleasure, Bryn.
Likewise.
So, let's recap for a moment. 1. We've stopped Surgeborn from navigating the Loomgate network by using the resonance modulator. 2. We've made huge leaps forward in regaining control over the Arcs. 3. We've armed and supplied the Scouts.
It certainly doesn't cast our last decade of work in a forgiving light, does it?
Listen, you've been surviving this crisis for a long time the only way you knew how. But now you have a path to move forward. Your people can choose to follow it, or dwell on past mistakes. Are we ready to face this threat head-on together?
Yes. You're right. Of course you are. We're at the point, resource-wise, where we can start making moves.
I don't really want to speak to my father right now. But I agree that it's time we put pressure on him to do something. Anything. Regardless of what he does. You've earned our support, Bryn. But first, I'd actually like to steal Hirun for a while, if you don't mind. I have some notes to go over with her.
By all means. Have fun.
I suppose I'll just get right to it. Why do you treat me differently?
What do you mean?
Everyone else gets the stern you, the you who's in charge, the Axel. But I get the friendly face, the compliance, this you who I don't understand. Is it because of my dad? Because everyone answers to him? Are you trying to get close to him through me? I can't handle it, Hirun. I need to know that I'm not just being manipulated by everyone around me.
It's not because of that.
Then... what is it?
I spend time around you because I want to see you, to speak with you, to work alongside you, to see the look in your eyes when you solve a problem. Skies, I shouldn't... None of this is... If we could find somewhere else, beyond the gaze of the hold...
Hirun. Stop. Take my hand. And we'll go. I have a place in mind. I didn't see it before, but I think... I would like to tell you of the ways in which you are important to me, too.
Why do I feel as if I'm about to have my time wasted?
Please allow me to present my research. I promise it won't take but a moment. I've compiled a dossier concerning an event that occurred in the Enclave around 35 years ago.
And what event would that be, pray tell?
The attempt to pierce the veil. I can only assume you were familiar with the Verdant Mines.
The name rings a bell, though it's been decades, as you said.
They were the subject of many of your speeches. It's interesting that your memory on the subject is hazy.
You'll forgive me for not remembering the exact wording or subject of any of the hundreds of speeches I've delivered throughout my career.
That's not a problem. I can summarize my findings. Firstly, our evidence suggests, with a high level of confidence, that you were aware of the Verdant Mines' plans to pierce the veil. Secondly, in support of that assertion, you gained this knowledge through your close relationship with the enchantress known as Lucia.
I never knew any enchantress by that name.
That's odd, since you seem to have been a recurring character in her personal journals. Though, truth be told, she didn't seem particularly fond of you in the later entries. So, back to the attempt to pierce the veil. You knew...
I knew that it would go poorly.
You knew?
Of course I did. But what does it matter?
You could have stopped it.
But I didn't. Pray tell, Lawkeeper, what goal did you hold in your mind as you traveled here?
I wanted to learn the truth about the past, to uncover what had been hidden.
Lane Free Selectus. That's who you are, yes?
That's correct. Though, I'm not sure how... never mind. But my research...
House Lectus of Judea. It's no wonder you felt the need to make something of yourself. Well, today will not be that day. Nor, I believe, will any. I won't waste my breath debating a jumped-up little snot from a house so consumed by cupidity that it can't even keep its hearths lit. Once a failure of a house, always a failure of a house. And it shows in your insipid rag parading as research.
Did you just call me a jumped-up little snot?
No, I didn't. You must have misheard me.
I...
Will that be all from you? I have other matters to attend to.
Skies! That is enough. Lane deserves better than this disrespect.
You dare to speak of respect? You, who broke into our home, who undid Asylum, who attempts to destroy decades of societal progress.
I'm trying to help rebuild the Enclave, not destroy it. Self-important jerks like you aren't helping.
I have single-handedly held back the tide of oblivion. I'm not self-important. I'm a damned hero. You and your lackey will remove yourselves from my presence, or I'll call the guards.
Bryn, thanks, but it's not worth it. I need to go.
Skies above. I was worried this would happen. What's going on?
Arik, why don't you fill her in?
Our plan worked. The Eye is mobilizing the scouts for a large-scale attack on the Surgeborn.
I take it the Axel and the Spindle put him up to this?
Yes. Not that Khan Stanild is admitting that. He claims that with the supply shortage taken care of and the Ark restoration underway, now is the time to strike.
And Bryn is receiving due credit for all her work, I'm sure.
No.
So what's his plan?
The scouts will stage a distraction in the underworks, while the Eye and the Spindle do something to the Grand Gate. That's all I know. The Eye wants everyone to convene at Cassidon's Hold for a speech to learn more.
He wants us there.
Khan Stanild loves an audience. Doesn't matter who's in it.
I thought you'd be happier about all this.
I have reservations about the Eye launching a plan using my scouts without consulting me.
The reality is, the leader of the Enclave has the power and influence we need to take a stand against the Surgeborn, regardless of how likable the man holding the title may be.
Power and influence, sure, but not the expertise.
We faced down Surgeborn and monsters, repaired lost innovations, and even won over the grumpiest of guild leaders. We're ready for anything, no matter what happens.
It can't hurt to hear his big speech before jumping to conclusions.
I'm here to escort you. Talk to me when you're ready.
I can't even begin to explain how I feel. This is a disaster.
Did I make it worse?
No. No, not at all. Not for a moment. You were very kind and strong and supportive and courageous. It reminded me of why I left.
Home.
Everything back there was all about your house. Your actions or intent never mattered. And when I tried to forge a different path in life, the knives came out. I had no real choice but to leave. I thought I had left it all in my past. But now, here we are.
For years, no matter how hard I trained, my last mentor, Aaron, told me I wasn't strong enough to be a point. When he eventually named one of his friends, Aram, the Weaver Band's new point, I was gutted. Even though he had no training, Aaron tried to convince me it made sense. Aram is just physiologically stronger than me. Of course, I took the first chance to get out after that. Just like you did. But until then, as much as I tried to ignore what Aaron was saying, a part of me was afraid he was right. Sometimes, when you're told the same thing over and over, you can't help but wonder if it's true. So, what I'm trying to say is that this guy has found his way inside your head. But that'll pass. And it doesn't reflect on the quality of your research.
I appreciate that. I'll try to internalize it. But for now, I think I just need to consider my next moves. It might take a while.
Take all the time you need.
Thanks, Bryn.
Ready to head to Cassidon's Hold?
still need more time.
I'm here when you're ready.